who's landing over at Selfie, and he's on this island. He's already pushed up a little bit. I think Janice and Chapix know on the top right POV. They might hunt him down, but he's already leaving the island. And look at High Chris in the water, the yellow arrows on the map. We're at Slurpee right now, but they're chasing down our previous FNCS champions. They're not letting them get away for free.
We're here at Slurpee to keep tabs on the 4th place team at Kiriachi, Stormy,
So Leute, meine Serververbindung ist einfach gerade abgebrochen. Ich weiß nicht warum.
Free rotations. Usually you have Slurp
Aber
Factory contested here, and now going against Shadows trio there, who are doing that Shantytown split. Now we have eyes here on the 2nd place team, who have been holding on to 1st place throughout the entire tournament, and they've just been kind of just putting in kind of like a points like really solid, you know what I mean? But when you have the teams that have been putting in some astronomical numbers, some huge performances like Vidil and Queasy, who has just been just as consistent, but you're just seeing the 2 clashes of meta, Shail, right? Right now, the high ground is just winning it out, and they have the 18. On the other side, Queasy is at 136.
Es laggt halt immer noch vom Latest, bro.
They automatically close the gap in the cumulative leaderboard.
Absolute 5-point difference. At the same time, here is the catch-upper fighting this fight on a brand new map. It looks like usually craggy cliffs. Now we're on that flopper island. Chapix, Janice, and Hen have all the high points, but High Chris has actually made a little bit of a base on the right side. Gonna be looking for a shot, but he's playing it sneaky. They're not letting these guys extend these builds whatsoever because they might be able to find High Chris on his spot. Very smart from Vortex. As he does that, though, gets bopped. Low on shields. Janice down below 2, and he's almost down with no HP.
What a great adjustment from High Chris trio. Last time they let this trio disengage to Flopper Island. This time they decided to take the fight to them right on the island.
Yeah, exactly.
Echt Hurensöhne gibt, die ganze Zeit griefen halt.
This is going to be the wrap-up of the tournament as well.
Ja,
There's
auf zu
no point really for
griefen,
this
du
trio
dummer
to roll in
Hurensohn.
and disengage. They're going to keep chasing down, but Chapix stops their chase at least a little bit. Knight's 1 HP too. If he drops down and sees him with a quick flick, he can end his big run too. He's going to stay sneaky. Meanwhile, because of this, there'll be enough relief of pressure for Janice to get revived back up. A Met Kid in play too. They're going to be looking fine for now. Once again, though, Sancho, Zone is not here. And these guys are already running through the vents and move. Look at Chapix's inventory. This is not a Chapix loadout.
Bist du schlecht für den 1-1 zu klären, Digga. Holy shit.
Finally find the sneaky man. Good night. Good night, literally. And that's gone. So these guys get to play their game out for the rest of game number 11. The thing is, though, they had to invest so much here.
Gibt es solche Leute, die
they barely got the fish. And Zone's coming in.
It is vital for them to find a vehicle like you see
Die
in
ganzen
Austria,
10-jährigen Leute, Alter.
which is a new introduction here in the season that just allows you to move like right over the terrain a lot faster. So they're gonna sit there and Flopper Island, no doubt, hit up all the fishing holes. I've seen Thomas AC Flick and Anas here are gonna visit this character to be able to buy a rift, and they're gonna be able to move on through. It's so exciting to always see a rift. It just makes me so nostalgic. Oh, Rift to goes, I love you.
They'll be able to rotate fast. Meanwhile, Savage, oh my goodness, almost thrown off course. It's good.
It's a little, it's a little tough. A little bit, the suspension's a little high, you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're making to literally jump buildings, but Refsguard makes it happen. And while he does that, they're going to look for tags as well. This is a mobile surge of vehicle, and they're looking for it. They'll try to go for it. They'll move out. Refsguard will be able to heal and drive at the same time, or at least be in the car at the same time as he heals. Tulek, Squeezy, and Jerky, though. This is kind of the perspective. 2nd place and 1st, back-to-back. They got 2s. I think they'll look to just hit that bow shot with the pump shot. Yes, they combine it for the big surge tags, too. And that's going to be looking good for them overall. Stinkfish, 6 of them in play. You saw before, Sancho, Stinkfish kind of ruined one of their games. Now they're going to look to actually use them to get ahead of the competition.
Sometimes the Slurp Factory team used to go out into these fishing spots and become fishermen for a bit. That's a big part of Kirachi's game plan. They have about 3 slots that's all dedicated to heals with floppers and mobility. If they had a spicy fish, that's what they use to overtake height. So that's why you found, you know, 2's way out there by themselves. So that's a great adjustment by Queasy's trio deciding to push, which has been so far a chill ride for that team coming out of Slurp Factory.
And if you're in the top 10 right now, you're also looking to grab mountains or grab guardian posts. You saw a Nas at one of them. Refscar's going to be up towards the middle of the spire as well.
5 points, bro. 5 points. This is good. You know what I mean? That's what separates them from 1st place.
Bro?
And we already saw Queasy got another one, so it's actually 7 points, right? Elimination, 7. We have yet to get to that placement threshold in the top 25, so 7 points right now separating first and second.
Meanwhile, everyone's trying to catch up. They're kind of in a little bubble of their own, about 50 points ahead of everyone else. Nas, Flick, and Thomas, even the team all the way up top with Enlex and AZ, they need wins. They need wins right now to get all the way up top, but only one team can walk away with that victory royale. Only one team can really afford to push for double-digit elims and be safe at the same time. So Nas, Flick, and Thomas will try to keep rotating away.
And I have to say, you know, Endelix, they're coming back slowly. They're in top 10. In the previous game, they moved up from 13th to 10th place. They have 190 points. They're slowly turning their fate. It's one of those teams, just like in the playoffs of any kind of sports. They're a veteran team. You don't want to see them. You know they're going to be a tough out if they're along their rotation. So no doubt, seeing an Endelix trio sitting in front of you, that's not good news for Anas, because that trio is going to continue on the rotations. As you see, Reason actually knocking Pizza in the feet.
Pizza going down. Reason feels like these guys are already hot off their stuff, looking to have another great game. Zyku-san and Jules, I would say one of the most surprising performances of this FNCS. Going in, they look so good on height. They look so good in their heat as well. They just lack that experience of control. But so far today, 7th place. They're right behind Flickanos Thomas and ahead of Janice Chapix and Hen. They're next to legendary names rolling in on one of their first FNCSs, you know, looking really good too. They're just having a very stellar performance. Excited to see how they look in future seasons. The games aren't even done today. If they figure out how to make up for their lack of experience, take more risks, they can get even higher on the boards today.
They didn't even make it into round 4 of any of the qualifiers, so they are progressing right. And you're right, with the career trajectory, if they decide to stay together as a trio, they could definitely keep having a better performance in the next finals.
Astroki looks like he's back up with Pizza and Ardit, so the full elimination didn't really come through. Savage, although, has kind of invested a lot into this game. Must be medkits or something that are already down, maybe big pots. Still has that stink bow, is going to be moving over. Ooh. Wait for the threshold, wait for it, wait for it.
I'm waiting.
Boom, 214. We learned the lessons, yep.
Yes, yes.
They're looking real good. 214 above, and they still have chances to do more damage. Who's right next to him? Yeah, but it's Fast Roki. They don't like letting a trio getting away for free. Fast Roki, a lot of the times, if they're down on Surge, they like having these box fights, but I don't feel like in the last 2 games they're going to be playing that super risky.
It's just showing you there, they take a lot of like moments here to fight this engagement. You have Wakey's trio out there, you have the Deals trio just a little bit further, so this wedge is already being filled with big names of the EU region, and 7 points is all they need right now. So when that number gets to 222, they catch up to Queasy. Placement points haven't been doled out. 5 points we're going to be doled out in about 4 places, and the lobby focus is coming in. This is 2nd place here on the ropes. They might get KO'd, and that's Noah Riley. You're applying pressure on the other side. That's Mysterios applying pressure on the other side. Here comes the steam. The gas may be a little too dense for them, and Dreda now down without any shield on the sliver of life. Savage is on the same way, is able to get back to 100 HP, but Roughscar goes down. Too much pressure from all angles, as my boy Shia will say, left, right, up, down, doesn't matter where they look, they were just getting too much, and now it all falls on Indreda's shoulders. This will be by far one of the lowest finishes they had throughout the entire tournament, and this is 2nd place once again. 6 HP and a dream, and that dream is being turned into a scary nightmare. Can they get it? Whoa, hold on just for a brief moment. And that's what FNCS comes all about, the brief moments. Be able to res your teammate Revsguard and Dreda. The classic duo now have to hold on tight. It's not a Savage clutch that they need, and now it's a duo clutch of Dreda and
Red
Revsguard.
Rush Mappy.
They'll try it. Red Rush Mappy exterior still looking from the outside.
Junge.
Bermuda triangle of pressure.
Würde ich wissen, wer dieser Typ ist, würde ich den Typen anschreiben
here in just a second.
und ihn
It's gonna be
richtig
so
fett
tough to get out
beleidigen,
of here, and they're
Alter.
not sure what's outside these walls.
Ich werde auf alles gehen, einfach.
Footsteps too.
Kann man so
Shield
scheiße
for
auf
Revsguard. He
Videos
went down to
sein?
Stink, so it still stays up for him. They get to save a lot on resources in terms of the meds they have. They can see, I feel like, Revsguard through these walls. No, they're metal walls.
So weit weg,
There
Alter.
comes all the pressure. They have to move. Headed out right, but there's trios waiting outside too. 65 damage above, and they're still getting tagged. This is rough for Andretta and Revsguard for the moment. They're caught right back on storm line 2. 3rd zone moving in 45 seconds. This survival story has a timer. They not only have to escape this pressure, but then move in a time limit too. So this is going to be really strugglesome. 10 bills on Andretta 2. This is just too rough.
My oh my, the shoes on the other foot. We saw this engagement down in Lazy Lake, and we saw Andretta, Resguard, and Savage get a big key refresher off of Mappy's trio, and Mappy is just disengaging right now, leaving this trio on the island all by themselves with no life raft to be able to survive, and Storm Surge is raining down terror. 55 below, not enough minis to hold on, but Red Rush, he sees that, he's trying to capitalize, but some tags on Red Rush here, Resguard and Andretta here, it's all but a matter of time for them to be eliminated here, and win the two of the second games, and the Raptor says hello, but Asterios is the ultimate king, he takes them down, and now Red Rush, Asterios, and Mappy get revenge, and what an almost bad timing for Andretta, Resguard, and Savage to go down, because Queasy, Trulix, and Jerky are still on their feet, looking good, feeling good, breathing in that fresh air.
Fresh air, first place right now, watching in the feed, second go down. Refsguard and Andretta Savage are going to be one of the only top trios in the game right now not to be playing out this specific end game. This is a chance for a lot of people to catch up, but at the same time, a chance at the second last game of the EU finals for Queasy, Trulex, and Jerky to really solidify that first place spot.
The only trio I think they have to be have to keep wary of is the Deal trio. Throughout the entire day, they've been playing height. They've already defended them once. They already got a huge bow shot to stop their push. So we have to keep an eye on what kind of position does the Deal trios have. But let's keep an eye on here on a third base team, Tayson.
Third place, Nate, over second, but it's a 50-point gap they have to make up. Looking in for a big fight too. It's a Tomzy. Bloomy already a little bit affected. I think Percival's down. They're not going to be trading lives either. It's just damage. They pick up another. Find Percival. Looks like they found one more as well through the entire engagement. Haven't taken out the full trio, but they'll take those points. Let's talk about patterns and weaknesses for the two trios we were just talking about. Sancho, Queasy, and Vidil. For Vidil, once again, they're having bad games and then a victory royale. Back to back to back. Their last game was just bad. They're slated to get a VR right now, especially we've been seeing them picking up eliminations all throughout the map. Now for Queasy, Trulex, and Jerky, their biggest weakness is having height like they have right now and not being aware of the lobby getting overtaken. This is a scary situation. The only games they've really choked and lost is when they actually have high ground. The consistent games is when they play mid, they look fine. This is such a good spot for them. They look like kings right now. But that throne is definitely up for grabs.
Man kann einfach nicht mehr glauben, wer Highground hat.
As well. This is a pattern we've seen for an entire season, but
Queasy, Jerky und Trulex haben schon wieder High.
They like being in 6th place all the way behind. Now, it's a big gap. They're about 80 points away or 60 points away from the first place, Queasy, Trulex, and Jerky. But if they can catch up now, it has to be the time to have to take them off of height as well.
Nur Joke, Jerky, Trulex und Queasy sind gerade die besten Spieler auf der Welt.
Shadows trio, who are known to be aggressive at height. You also have a trio in right behind them, who in Game 4 yesterday were able to flank them and sneak up here. So it all depends where the Zone 5, half in and half out. You already see Noah Riley already invested here in about 0 seconds. Here we go. About a minute. We're gonna see Zone 5 revealed, and let's see if Queasy, Noah Riley, or Shadow gets that first move.
We'll talk about the zones in the map too as these guys drop down pressure. You'll see a bunch of eliminations come through. The more important thing is we haven't seen a Slurpee endgame zone just yet in these FNCS finals. We've seen Caddy multiple times, Lazy Lake multiple times. The Orchard, Spire in the middle as well has been big, and Vidil, Noah Riley like to operate there. Everyone has experience on all sides of the map. The bottom left side of the map, we have not seen any of these teams have their takes so far inside this lobby. This is going to be a brand new, fresh game. Noah Riley's looking for picks already. Thomas HD got some in the feed. Slender.
Oh nice, Digga. Ich bin auch für Mr. Savage, Digga. Let's go, man.
This is a completely fresh experience.
What a solid position right here. Look how much
wir sind beide für Mr. Savage.
Away from Noah Riley, Vidil, and Reason. They haven't been able to get there.
Domentos is dead.
Good knock on Domentos right there, but those are the valuable elimination points they could to close the gap because they have a lot of work to do considering that Queasy is still up. Here we go. Zone 5 is about to be revealed. This is going to be huge for the second to last game
ich sag dir, wenn Savage Zweiter wird, ist aber auch nicht schlimm.
Checking out all sides of the map. Looks like people are starting to rotate in. It's towards this top right. of Slurpee Swamp. Noah Riley basically.
Nee, Bro, du könntest mich höchstens
trio. I see one on absolute height. It might be Trulex. No, it's Exterios, who's all the way on high ground.
Epic in den Chat.
Red Rush. Somehow they found a way to get
Der
all the
Name
way
wird
up top.
automatisch von Nightbot 3
Coming in
geschrieben.
throughout the day. Have kind of, you know, had a leg backwards. They're in 4th place right now. They have the best chance to catch up completely, but they have to fight.
Trulex ist...
Squeezy, they have to fight.
Ja, okay.
3 different teams
Fast
looking to have high and take this game.
My oh my, we're used to seeing the low ground and just seeing Trulix. Yes, the defense,
bro,
they saw in the VOD how they got flanked on. They're trying to discourage that high ground retake, because we all know it's basically so much free. That's be an economy type of way to take that high ground.
Matteo, Digga, was geht, bro?
That's what Chappitz is keeping an eye on for. But look, actually Flick is pushing on Noah Riley. They're trying to take this height away from them, and Noah Riley's doing all that he can to stop it.
Every team from 3rd to 10th is trying to find a way to get back into this tournament.
Matteo, du warst mal auf dem
Right now for Nos, it'll be going straight to Noah Riley's box. A big
also
bump
du warst mal
to
Mod,
trade. Thomas HD is keeping this team's dreams alive, but he's the only one left up with 19 HP.
Ja, ich glaube, das war auf den Account auch.
Didn't get a full finish on the Elam either.
Matteo.
This height take did not work out, and their chances for 1st place are definitely on the line.
Thomas HD could definitely clutch that situation. He's done it in previous season. He's going to have one of the biggest clutches. But look, Height's in trouble. Trulix Jerky goes down, and Queasy has been put down to low ground. He is in shambles. Queasy doesn't want to be down here. The air is not too dense for them. His lungs are used to clean air. Queasy now, he has to do all that he can to hold on. This is the 1st place team going down, and placement points are well out getting doled.
This might be the most important clutch of Queasy's career in general. The longer he stays alive, the more of a gap he makes between him and Savage, who went down so much earlier. It's all about placement points for that team right now, but for Exterios, Mappy, and Red Rush, it's all about the catch-up. If Queasy goes down as well, it basically becomes a foot race for every top 10 team to close that gap, but it's all down to him. 15 different teams alive right now. That placement will come in every single time one goes down. Queasy moving forward, only soft mats, 400 builds. He's looking to harpoon any type of materials, but every edit he opens is an invitation for more beams to come from any direction that he's looking at. A big shot right in front. He dodges it, goes towards low ground. He's still moving in.
Bro,
he is getting more placement. Thomas HD's down. He has a little bit, but he's taken out now. For every other team up right now, it's a chance for contention, a chance to catch up to the 1st and 2nd place team. This is that gap game, and every team's looking to fill it.
Reason, Noah Riley, and Badil are 2nd from height. You're taking a look at Kinzel, 16th place going into this match here. They have some chance to move up their leaderboard, but Tayson, 4ZR, Nate, who have been passive at in-game, are now looking at height to see if they could take it. If Tayson, 4ZR, Nate could take height, they could move from 3rd place and close the gap that the 1st and 2nd place team are. You talked about it, Shio. 50 points, but Badil gets a knock on Joe. So Badil and Noah Riley are making their move right now.
It's so clean, Digga.
Just to make sure that they get as much placement as possible. We're getting closer and closer to the top 10 situation. Kinzel, Waken, Eyedrop have the advantage here, but now we're taking a look at who has the advantage on the low ground. It's Andalex. We talk about the veteran trio. You do not want to see controlling the low ground, but now we focus here back to 3rd.
Bro, hat den Ultra gegeben. Varial hat ein AP. Varial ist jetzt.
I think he got that one. Maybe we'll see.
Let's go.
Tayson, yes, he does, and that was on the deal.
Hat sich Video geholt, Digga. Tyson hat sich Video geholt. Oh Mann. Wer ist auf High? Wakey, Red Rush.
Meanwhile, Marine down in the feed.
Wolfie's one away
too. That entire squad is getting taken away. He's done the analysis. I feel like the team might be going for it in just a second. They have a little bit of those materials, but no. Kinzel, Wakey, and Eyedrop are way too high. We're going straight to the ocean as well. Low ground's gonna be a little bit of trouble. They have to build a little bit more on the floors. Tayson.
Ey, Bro, dieser scheiß Griefer, du kannst dich so am Arsch
lecken. Left and right, Shaco's going down in the feed. Snazy on low ground also gets taken out by Nate. This squad is active. They're looking for box-to-box fights, and they're winning them all.
Tyson.
They need all these points right here. A 50-point gap going into it, like I said before.
Kinzel
and if they get this, Tayson now is in trouble. 5 HP.
Ja, Kinzel, Wakey und Eyedrop sind auf High Ground,
survive that pressure here. Tayson, 4ZR now getting pressure from
Nate,
Tayson down to
Tyson
sliver
und
of
Forza. Och, diese Griefer, Mann. Das kannst du dir nicht ausdenken. Das ist ein Griefer.
So quickly. Now it's 4ZR here. He's in the back of the storm. 4ZR holding on. 19 HP. And he goes down as well. This is going to be a victory royale for Wakey.
Ja, und nur noch Clement lebt.
Old names, old guard here on the line. Clement dapping into the water here, holding on as much as possible. But iDrop waking Kinzel. Too hot to hold. 7 eliminations and the victory royale. That's big for them. They were 16th place. They could get up closer. We talked about all it takes, 2 games, 2 pop-off games. You get a lot of movement on that board, Shayo.
That was definitely a catch-up game, though, for the majority of the server, right? A lot of those top teams going down early, even 4-0 not being able to go all the way to the end for the victory royale. I'm wondering how that shakeup looks. What does the catch-up look like? We have to toss it over to the desk to see exactly how that game's results throw down.
Dieser scheiß Griefer, Digga, du bist ein... Hör mir zu, Digga. Geh nicht weg. Du bist ein scheiß dummer Hurensohn, okay? Du bist ein Hurensohn, danke.
Trios falling left and right. This is absolutely insane.
Welcher Typ ist das?
We'll take a look at the standings in just
Welcher Skin ist das?
This was game number
kann nur
5
der sein, ne?
11 of the overall tournament finals here in Europe. Gentlemen, at this point, it's a battle between first and second. Everyone else is playing for third.
Andy Lex ist jetzt nicht unbedingt mein Trio, aber Savage auf jeden Fall.
They're looking to climb as high as they can to walk away with more of that pie. Reese, Levin, this game is way too tight right now.
Look, you said it's a battle for first and second, but it almost was a battle for first and second. This was a full southwest zone. It looked like Queasy completely had it in them. This is basically the worst possible zone for Savage's team, pulling all the way from Steamy Stacks all the way to max distance map. We saw it not work out for them, but at the same time, it looked like it was going to be Queasy's zone. As soon as that 5th zone pops, they're situated on height. No way to build over. They can't do their signature height play, and it all falls apart on the rotate. So this, both of our top 2 teams eliminated early in this game, which means that we saw 4ZR. We were watching 4ZR tasting and Nate through that entire end game. I think that was a third for them there with, I think, 7 eliminations, which is a ton of points, which means it was a battle for top 2. But I think with that game, those guys are going to move all the way up, and now it seems to be a 3-way battle for first coming into the final match.
Yeah. I wanted to come out and say the top 2 teams made their lives a bit harder coming into that last game.
Ey, guck dir das an, Digga.
In the case of Savage's shit, where you have a max distance zone. It's not even a max distance zone, the max distance zone for that team. And even in Queasy and Trulix's case, you know, they don't pull 50-50.
Und jetzt ist da unten. Digga,
du hast right? They just weren't going to get height there, and so you saw they were posturing for it, right? You know what they want to do, but they just couldn't execute it. And so
Versuch es gar nicht erst, Digga.
Now, it's a 3-horse race, and what a race is it? What a race. Like, this is going to be crazy. Ultimately, one of these 3 teams is going to be in the sort of closing moments of that game, and that's probably going to be the team that takes it. And so what happens now if there's all 3 of those teams in that situation? Like, then things just get...
We have a good game.
Ja, okay, Ehre.
We're getting all different levels of crazy right now in the final game.
This is absolutely insane. We'll take a look at
Das
these
ist doch safe, dieser Typ, aber der ist kein Deutscher, der ist auch kein Engländer, glaube ich. Frank oder me.
At the top, we gotta highlight the 3 trios
Italienisch,
closest to the axe of champions.
We literally just talked about these teams already. You know, we set this up saying let's go the top 3 teams coming in. I think there's still the top 3 teams in contention right now. 4ZR, Tayson, and Nate had a good first day, but not anything amazing. They were 4th coming out on the first day. Now they're in 3rd, so moved up a single point. Maybe even pushed the way up the leaderboards a little bit more.
Nur Redi, oh, Digga, let's go. Rescard hat nur Redi so geschittet.
Really good up until that, what was that, game number 10, where they started to
get
overtaken.
Hat Shadow.
Here we go, 11 games. They've kind of moved down a little bit. The gap seems to be changing a little bit more.
Was hat ein Dritter mit den Gegnern gemacht? Domentos, Digga, als hätte alle.
In a long time. This is so tense.
Yeah, and you know, you look at Queasy and Trulix, both
Bruder,
incredibly experienced players. This is only the second time playing in an FNCS finals. You know, is the pressure going to get to him coming into that final game? You know, he tweeted out just before the last game. We need to focus now. And so if there's going to be the opportunity for them to close things out and win their first ever
Savage! Guck dir den Punkteunterschied an, Digga. 24 Punkte. Wie will Savage das doch holen? Die letzte Runde ist jetzt.
Even though they didn't get the game they wanted, they're still sitting there in second, and you know the gap is reachable between them.
Das kann Savage gar nicht mehr holen, Bro.
Even with Tayson, 4-0, and Nate coming into this race, it is still a very difficult one to win.
Look, Here's what I'm going to lay out for you. The worst game that Queasy, Trulex, and Jerky have had so far has been 10 points. So let's assume that's the same again. That puts them on 318, which means that Rescard, Andrea, and Savage, Forza, Artaste, and Nate will need to win the game, and Queasy, Trulex, and Jerky will need to have one of the worst or equally worst games they've had till today.
Ja, Bro, es wird knapp, man. Es wird vielleicht noch knapp, Bro. Aber jetzt hat eigentlich gerade Trulex eindeutig gewonnen. Leider.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Reason Vidil no O'Reilly. If they win with a huge elimination game, which we've already seen them do, and the top 3 don't perform, which again is possible, they could potentially get in there too, but they could also get up into top 3.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, right? We are all focusing on who's going to be the one to clinch first place coming into this last game. But of course, there are still
Gerollt,
in terms of looking at who can get top 3. You want to
für das nächste
right?
FNCS
So all those teams that, you know, I feel bad for Sancho and Shire in a way, because they're going to have to keep a track of everything and let us know what's going on, because there is going to be so much riding on this final end game. Like, I just want to sit back now and see the action.
Listen, I just checked, okay? Queasy has just tweeted, this decides it all. Good luck to all. Juriki, good luck, everyone. Good luck. They are aware. This is confidence coming into this game. Will they take it home? Will they be dethroned? We're about to find out, Fortnite fam. One final game in Europe. Sancho West, Shire Wager. Bring us home, boys.
3 teams, 1 dream, and the best reason to do it in, it's Europe. The last game, Sancho West, is on the line, and we're going straight in with Savage, Rescard, and Andretta. Second place, about 20, almost 30
Savage,
points
bro.
behind. Can they do it? Can they catch up to first place and triumph in the final game of EU?
There's only 4 words that can capture this moment. Good luck and have fun. This is the final game of the FNCS EU region. Will we have a new FNCS champion, or will Hen, Dennis and Chapix, I don't know, do the astronomical performance? But all eyes are on our top 3. Queasy, Revsguard, and Tyson all have a chance to win. And it all went down to the final moments last season. Will we get a repeat finish?
Mit 13 müsstest du eigentlich schon in der 8. oder 7. sein, aber
they're on the catch-up. They're playing defense. A majority of this tournament, we're sitting very, very chill in that first place. Now at second, they need to actually be proactive this game. They can't just stay waiting on low ground. Maybe play for height. Depending on where the zone goes to, that'll be huge. You know what happens in the final games of the day on EU. We end up in the mountains, we end up in the sea. It gets crazy. Meanwhile, though, regardless of all of that, Trulex, Queasy, Jerky, first place. So good throughout the whole day. Reset it best just to show you how dominant these guys are. Their worst game, Sancho, they get 10 points. You have to count this team to have a good game no matter what. And every team right now in the lobby is preying on their downfall.
Essentially, their worst has been a lot of trios' best. They have a 24-point lead right now. If you want to keep tabs on it, you want to do the work with us, you want to do the math. Trulix's trio is at 155 for the session. That means for the day. You're looking at Andretta's trio still locked in at 118. Third place right now is 118 as well. So you're looking about 24 points difference between first and second. Third place right now is at an 11-point difference between third and second. Good luck doing math.
And in this final game, he pulled up an extra chair at the table. There are 3 teams neck and neck, close by, looking for that top tier first place spot. The champions of Europe, the before ZR, Tayson, and Nate rolling in 273 points throughout both days. They're also very, very close, but have to do so much and hope that Queasy, Jerky, and Trulex trip over themselves trying to clinch this last game.
Let's take a look at the Zone 1 that's been revealed. If you're sitting out there and you're a Queasy fan, they're on the bottom left of your screen. And they have to go through all of those South rotator players that are all out there that have been just clawing. They've been bruising a lot of people. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on as they make that treacherous rotation. And Shayo,
Du wirst im November auf 14 und du hast versucht, eine 10-Jährige zu klären und sie hat dich gekorbt. Das ist
yeah, I mean, it's close to them, but neither team
dermaßen
really pull the zone
peinlich,
into
Bro.
their domain. Everyone's gonna have to move a little
Das
bit,
ist
especially
peinlich
4ZR all
von
the way
einer
at 20 stands.
10-Jährigen
Even Steamy
als
Stacks, you see that white line? They have to eventually end up leaving this POI. They're on a timer, and they have to make sure their game is efficient.
Das muss
We
mehr
cannot
als
forget
wehtun.
fourth place. The deal, Noah Riley and Reason, making a return back into the top 3. That's the only new team that are within the striking distance, within being that auto qualification as well. And that this, what a phenomenal performance from them, no matter what. It let them know that they could change their playstyle if for some reason the placement points or elimination points changes. They know they could be aggressive, they could be that buzzsaw. But this is what's been so impressive throughout the day is Trulux, Queasy, and Jerky. We've been playing height aggressively, and who knows, imagine if day 1 they were able to get those victory royales when they had height, how much of a runaway performance this would be for season 6.
Queasy,
Yeah, I have it down in my notes. This team was literally supposed to win on day 1. The positions they were in, you're absolutely correct. Like, they literally were dominant, and no team could, in theory, really catch them. In reality, though, they definitely did get caught. Going back, though, watching the VODs, making sure everything, all the mistakes were fine. They came into day 2, the fresh mindset, and now they have a huge lead on many teams. All they have to do this game is survive.
We already talked about a lot of numbers, but let me throw you the big numbers that's happening here. But let me put a pause on that as our defending FNCS champions are in trouble.
Ja, Bro, also wenn sie dich korbt, dann würde ich sie, glaube ich, auch nicht mehr lieben, Bro.
Defensive stance here. Lunuf does get hit, is cracked right now, and that might be just enough to kind of slow down this push that's happening from Slicks, Marine, and Lunef.
Gonna be trying to go all the way in. At the same time, every team right now, they might not be holding anything back. In the last game, you might need a lot of eliminations to go a little bit higher. And the prize thresholds there are for the entire tournament we're watching so far, for the whole finals, for Janice and Chapix, it might not be possible for them to level up the whole way and get top 3. They're about, I would say, 40 points behind. They definitely would need the win. High Chris is here, still chasing them. They disengaged over and over again yesterday. And, you know, both teams have to play their games out. If this is the first time you're tuning in for the day watching, Hen's team are watching on screen right now, Under the Bridge.
Oh no, Jannis.
For all 12 games, they're trying to run away too, just to play this one out. High Chris does not care. They're coming through, chasing all the way. They're trying to have this fight towards the very end.
Ja, komm.
This is so heartbreaking
Das
to
ist
watch.
ja so lächerlich.
And Janice. Chapix tweeted out that he has never been contestants in squads. And we're just seeing them right now. The defending champions. Not a lot of room to breathe. They essentially need a double digit
2K Earnings und hat auch gesagt, dass
a lot of other teams ahead of them to go down, but I'm not seeing it. As much as I love
das.
the root,
Ja, das hat einer P!
the repeat is looking
Oh mein
like
Gott,
it's in
sorry,
shadows.
aber Bro.
Entire tournament hanging by a thread, no shields to kind of protect them either. They have to
Oh mein Gott, nein. Hen ist schon dead. Ja. Hen ist gefinished. Weg mit dir. Chapix ist dead. Jannis hat 10 AP, noch nicht mal.
Chapix and Hen have been winning off spawn entirely. It might just be High Chris who gets the last laugh. Janice on his wall. Champions fall. Their run so far for the top 3 is over. Phenomenal.
Also Knight, Merchant und Lenuf, die müssen sich doch so freuen.
Very good showing, and will end somewhere within the top 10 or 15 at the end of the finals.
It's just something that when it comes down to
Er hat
this
einfach
moment,
2K Earnings,
this
Bro.
is what it is all about. FNCS, we still have 3 teams that are just separated by a victory royale. Payson, 4ZR, and Nate. As a team, they're in 3rd place. Only 11 points behind.
Die Runde hat der Loopball-Typi gewonnen, hä?
That number
Really?
needs to be added by 11 more points.
Das kannst du aber noch gar nicht wissen, hä?
Of course, that's all going to come down to
Ach
tiebreakers.
so, ja, komm, egal, Digga.
This
Vergiss
is why I'm
es.
casting and I'm not an admin. Right now, we're all eyes right here. Focus. Everyone gather around. We're getting into the final moments of game 12 here. And you may think, Sancho, this game just started. This feels like the finality of it. You know what I mean? This is it.
It is. It is. It's the last game. Jerky, Queasy, Trulex, first place. And with the champions from last season gone, it's like we're at the coronation for this team so far. If it was a movie, right, there could be a possibility of hijinks happening at the ceremony. People are still in contention, the top 2 teams, to interrupt. But once again, for these guys to lose their first place slot, they would have
Party
to go
Royale
down
ist
before kind of
nicht so
the 8th or
verzögert.
9th zone. I don't see that happening, especially from this spot. There's no teams near them. No bow shots really hitting.
Also YouTube ist verzögerter als Party Royale, das weiß ich.
As the game goes on, it will get scarier. Here's the team that wants to make it happen. Savage.
Und Twitch auch.
Refsguard, once again, second place.
Glaube ich.
They need to catch up. They need to win this game.
I was mentioning big numbers before. Let me hit you with those numbers right now. First place, $300,000. Second place, $210,000. Third place, $135,000. That's what's at stake here between the 3. Not only that acts of champions, not only be able to put that social media post, not only to be able to make that video that's going to get thousands and thousands of views and your clout's going to go up because everyone's going to call you a champion. It's all about that life-changing money as well. And then you go down 4th and 5th, 6th, still thousands and thousands of dollars. That top 10 is going to be a threshold that you want to break, because if you break that top 10, Shayo, that's going to be $10,000 a piece.
You want to make sure you can catch up. The other thing on the line as well for every team behind the one on screen right now, Tasting, ForZR, and Nate, basically everyone from 4th place below. You hit top 3 this FNCS, you're automatically invited to the next one to be inside the finals as well. So Tasting, ForZR, and Nate have their own gate to keep while they try to get further and further up inside the top 3. They have to make sure they don't go down and they get an auto qual all the way. You saw how rough it was for their season. All the issues, errors.
Ich hasse dich, du
Well. They kind of
Hurensohn,
fixed it up,
Alter.
but they had trouble getting all the way here. They look amazing today. Amazing right now, but they don't want to repeat the process.
Still, other teams that are in this match have a lot to play for themselves. We cannot forget about that all-star game that will happen later on. The top 15 will be able to get into that match.
They're looking for big qualifications on all sides. Queasy, Jerky, Trulex. In a little bit of trouble right now. These are the spots that you can't make mistakes at. And these are also the places where every other team who was playing normally might be slightly hungrier, understanding that, hey, we might need to get the top 10. I want to get to the upper portions of prizing. I might have to push the team in front of me that I usually would in Sun and Jules, a passive team. Might make that choice, but no, with this defensive base, Queasy, Jerky, and Trulex will be fine. They're used to being free, though. They like walking around. That's not going to be the case right now. And on Surge as well, they're just 18 damage above.
Und Queasy.
Yeah, yes, exactly what I was going to point out. Look at it. Both people that are in the top 3, just above Surge, and 10 players have to go down here very soon in the next zone. So every shot's mattering. They're going to have to get this important task. Refsguard in the bottom right of the screen, armed with an infantry rifle. Doesn't get any connections, but look at the zone, Shayo. Zone 2, it's going to be another mountain finish.
Can't get nervous here on the Surge. I know it's just 18. It's half a tag. It looks drastic, but patience is key. Everyone else should be a lot more nervous and more desperate to push for shots. Queasy always hits these, but no. Doesn't get a single bullet on the head. People all the way up top. Stompy, Shadow, and 32. Joe. And Lazy Lakes. 19 above now.
Oh.
It's looking fine. Everyone should be edging more towards looking for box fights, looking to really just push their game to the absolute limit. Trulex, Squeezy, Jerky, different circumstances. They're feeling fine. Pizza Ardent, kind of desperate. Reason is right here with Vidil and Noah Riley. They're looking right beside Taste and actually overtake them and get into the top 3. They're in 4th place currently. Tayson has to defend this right now inside the same POI. They're 192 damage below. They need to go for a fight. They're pushing for it. Ardent inside this building.
No,
Tayson is moving with no protection all the way up the side of this ramp, and he gets beamed down, has to heal all the way up. And 21 damage above. The outreach was worth it, but they're still not off scot-free.
The monster that's underneath the bed of Tayson's dreams of a 3-time FNCS championship is now haunting them and giving them some nightmares, because look, they're only 9 above, and throughout the entire tournament we've seen Storm Surge being the bullseye, the target, and so many trios right now are looking for those easy eliminations to get them those thousands of dollars as they creep up more and more on the leaderboard. A lot to play for everybody else on the field.
They can't screw up Surge now. The entire run they've had this season, it's been Surge issues every single time. There's no way in this game the finale.
No way.
Will they just trip up for now? Yeah, they go all the way up, build the bases, 86 damage above. It's looking good. And now with 69 players alive, Surge will stop still. They're not kings of their spot right now. Joe, Stompy, and Shadow can have better peaks right below them. Fast Roki and Ardent will look to cause trouble. Meanwhile, Trulex Jerky trapped beside a river in a shed. They finally broke free and are moving on their way to an empty zone where no one's really claimed that much ground. This could be huge. Get them into a spot to survive and not really have a team interrupt them. Wow, Jerky, a big bow shot to get Surge. Remember, they were barely up on it. Another one. This is so huge.
Jerky hat soft aim, bro.
They're gonna be relaxing for the moment too. The issue is they've bullied two teams on mountains and caught their attention. One of them being a team that might be looking at
Aber das ist gut, dass er hinzugeben hat, dann halten wenigstens die anderen Teams ihre Fresse.
Like one of those things right there is you're seeing that they're used to being really chill on Surge. They can make those kind of aggressive plays for height, but when you have that Surge parasite weighing you down, that anchor, you're not going to be as free to crank up to height. Those 90s just become a little bit heavier. In fact, Shio, everything is heavier right now. Every edit, I bet you their mouse or controller, whatever input they're playing on, just feels a little bit more heavier. It's like a 5-pound weight sitting on it.
Definitely a lot of pressure. Nate 4ZR Tayson, though, no strangers to it. We know how decorated Tayson is. We know the prowess of Nate and 4ZR too. Popping off, whether it's duos for Nate, whether it's the trio prowess of 4ZR as well. Tayson's so good in every mode too. These guys can definitely do it, but once again, they're the team that the majority of players in this lobby are looking to take out. I know first and second are having their own battle, but for third, they are on the line. Fast Roki, Vista, Ardent above them want to break in. Andalex in 8th place wants to roll through. Kiriachi right below them in 5th. They're trying to get through too. They had a chance to meet up with Vidil, Noah, Riley, and Reason. They're right below them in 4th place. Meanwhile, in 2nd, Savage, Rustguard, and Dreda looking at the server, trying to pinpoint where that first place team is, or just trying to get tags.
They're looking good though. Center zone and everybody that's in the top 3, everybody in the lobby that's still alive has been doled out 5 points. So that's why they went from 118 to 123. So far, no movement yet in the top 3. No one's gaining ground. No one's lost ground right now between Andretta's trio, 4ZR, and Queasy. All looking good. The only thing that I'm really concerned is this right here. What does the Storm Surge look at? We saw 2 big bow shots, putting them at 85, putting 160 into that HP bankroll. But is that going to be enough for them to last? Are they going to have enough financial Storm Surge to be able to withstand all this pressure that's happening right here, right now?
Talk about pressure. This is a very similar position we saw, I believe, Anas, Thomas, HD, and Flick at last game. A team focuses you while you can't really move between the 3rd, 4th, and 5th zones. You start running out of your materials completely. Fast Roki's not letting this one go. They're dropping down all their ammo into this position. They ran out of shields above them. They ran out of gas, they ran out of mats completely, and it looks like they're looking to all in an 8-4ZR and Tayson below before this storm starts to move.
We're seeing that a knock went through for Reason. Now they're at 169 for this session here. They closed the gap just a little bit. They're still 17 points behind 3rd place.
Looking at Thomas HD are also used to winning at least one game, I feel like.
Ganz entspannt. Oh, Nate.
They pushed up on these builds to move forward, but this is still not in zone. This is trouble.
Tayson, the two-time FNCS champion, a trio champion, and a solo champion, is going to make his way to hold on as much as possible. A lot of ground to move on through to make sure they could get closer to the top here, but we're seeing there still are 2 places here of Refsguard's trio and Queasy's trio are still in, and we saw Savage was able to get a couple eliminations. Reason and O'Reilly, who are sitting in 4th place, who've been moving up the board slowly but surely here, now have to continue the rest of it. And Tayson is out, locked in 3rd place. But we already know there's going to be a lot of movement because there's a lot more game here in the final 12th game, Shio.
Savage still acting like a frilled neck lizard right now, really puffing out his chest and looking for big positions all the way inside the circle. Every team right now is doing their best to be intimidating and make sure no other team steps to them or gets in their box. Meanwhile, Queasy, Trulex, Jerky, the 1st place trio is not on that wavelength. They're more so operating like a jack in the box. Low ground, being very low key. They don't want to make any over edits. They're hiding from the rest of the lobby. Meanwhile, when that game actually goes through, we get towards the end game, you'll see them pop out a big scary trio who loves to go for height. They'll still be on their game. There they are, side by side, 1st and 2nd place with a very different play style and with a full metal base, basically a submarine base. It looks like all the way on low ground. No one's going to be penetrating it whatsoever. No shots will really come through. They'll be fine all the way till end game.
Let me just make things simpler right now. I know all of us are trying to do math, but Queasy, if they could just outplay Andretta, then they're going to be able to have a great chance of winning it all. It's basically a victory royale for Andretta. That is the win condition for the FNCS championship.
This is a 2 trios race. You're absolutely right. Whoever survives longer wins this FNCS. As long as they get to one of those end game circles. So we're on our marks. We're getting set and ready. In 3 seconds, we'll have the zone and we'll be ready to go. Toos, Kiriachi, Stormy right.
Savage müsste jetzt eigentlich Trulex so holen.
But no O'Reilly, Reason of a Deal are on height. They're so good at just punishing every low ground team. This could be trouble for Savage and Queasy as well. None of them looking to take height really. They're looking to survive. Same place, same boxes, and they both don't really pull zone completely. It's a pseudo max rotate.
Und dann müssen sie am besten Jerky, Trulex und
Queasy
Queasy
the in-game leader for this situations right here. His prowess, his clutch factor is all on the line. He has to lead Refsguard and Andretta. Savage joining this duo to form this new trio that's performing out of their minds right now. Only 13 above Storm Surge, so that's going to be dangerous for them.
They're following the old tarp of Trulex, Queasy, and Jerky. They're actually box to box, side by side, it feels like, and right behind their tails, they actually end up on different layers. That could have been so dangerous out ahead of them. Breaking into another person's box, so they might go toe-to-toe with Andalex on low ground. I'm focusing on the bottom right now for Savage. Queasy is way ahead of zone. They're looking really good right now. Savage, meanwhile, is walking by, burning trees, a forest set ablaze, and working through builds that aren't even his own. This is not normal. He likes having his own lair. They found ultimate low ground, though. They're free, green pastures, and they're moving forward. Meanwhile, Queasy is slightly elevated up top.
Oh, no,
it's a battle of who can survive. They put out some fire, but the rest of the builds catch. Savage's feet are hot. He goes all the way back, and it's time for a med kit. Meanwhile, Queasy going all the way a little bit for height, gets interrupted and dropped down below. Both teams trying to survive, both in so many different layers of pressure.
Queasy trying to go back to his playbook to go for height, but was denied by Flickanos and Thomas HT. All eyes are on the right side of the screen. Let's see what happens right here. Savage is in trouble. Savage is down to 7 HP without any shield here. This is going to be a moment right now for the tournament. Run is on their lives right now. Can Queasy, Jerky, and Trulex just hold on? But look at the push that's happening on the bottom right. Savage, the trio, picks up elimination.
Let's go!
Space control right now. They're pushing through
Pure
the
eliminations.
They're getting the E-limbs right now.
Wichtig.
But can Queasy, Trulex, and Jerky just hold on? That's all they have to do.
Queasy, Trulex, Jerky moving slower and lower in boxes. Find a big edit onto the Symptos. They get a huge knock. This will be dangerous to try to finish, though. Every edit they look for could be on the front of a pump shotgun going straight to the face. Queasy backs up. The full trio still alive, still healthy, and have a reasonable amount of materials. Savage, though, pop the medkit. He's looking good all the way on the bottom right side of your screen. Anas, Thomas, Flick are still doing their thing on high ground. They're not over and ready to give things up completely this FNCS. And Andretta has gone down on the bottom right side of the feed.
Okay.
Second place might be getting left behind in the dust and fire as Queasy, Trulex, and Jerky are looking to control low.
Dretta ist down, aber sie haben noch Kill geholt.
Just a small layer separating. Savage and Revscar as a duo have to work together against Jerky and Trulix.
Queasy hat Clement. Scheiße. Ja, das kann Savage nicht mehr machen. Oh mein Gott, Trulix! Er hat Trulix, Digga! Holy shit! Please! Queasy is dead!
Queasy's gonna be taken out, and now
Komm weg! Bro!
And the victory out in their sights could win it all right here, right now.
Queasy ist no! No! Das hat 100% nicht gereicht. No! Aber die haben so gut noch aufgeholt. Die haben Trulix Queasy geholt. Savage, Digga. No, Digga.
But they should be your champions. Meanwhile, Thomas, Anas, and Flick, they'll roll into the end game. You can never count them out when you talk about EU. Slated to win everything.
Oh, Flick, no, Digga. Anas, iDrop, sind alle dead. Thomas ist alleine, weil Flick reingejogt hat. Aber ich glaube, er hatte keine Wette mehr. Ja, 1v3, Thomas HG, keine Ahnung. Wer ist das, Alter? Jetzt gut. Wer soll das sein? Yeah. No. Ich will nicht wissen, wie die Standings sind. Es war das letzte Game. Morgen streame ich auch wieder. Erster Link in der Beschreibung ist, by the way, mein Discord. Könnt ihr gerne raufscheuen. Euch für einen Clan bewerben. Diamond Clan. Abkürzung DIA. Zweiter Link in der Beschreibung. Mein YouTube Clan, also der YouTube Dings von dem Clan, der YouTube Kanal, wäre Ehre, wenn ihr auch mal abchecken könntet. Und ich würde sagen, erster kriegt 300.000, zweiter 210.000, dritter 135.000, vierter 120.000, fünfter 105.000 und so weiter und so fort. Das natürlich auf drei Stück aufgeteilt, das heißt einmal durch 3 kriegt jeder 100.000 und würde ich sagen, Trulix, Call, erster, zweiter ist Savage, bin ich mir eigentlich relativ sicher. Mein Trio ist eigentlich Savage gewesen, aber Trulix hat heute gewonnen. Oha. Heute steht das ganz schön, oh Bro, 30 Punkte. Ich glaube, das wird überhaupt nicht reichen. Trulix hat heute auch 2 Wins. Genauso wie Reason. iDrop hatte auch einen Win. Irgendwelche No-Names hatten gerade einen Win, ne? Hey, die waren gestern voll Dogshit, oder nicht? Jetzt gut. Jetzt war doch gestern voll Dogshit. Ja, okay, 106 Punkte, ich habe nichts gesagt, Digga. Und damit würde ich sagen, ich mache meine Augen zu. Bruder. Ja. The winner von the game ist Queasy, Jerky und Trulix.
Nicht ich?
Die haben es doch so krank gedreht, Digga. Wie haben die das geschafft? Holy shit, Mann.
Bin ich der FCS-Winner?
Halt die Klappe, nein. Du bist der Rauskick-Winner. Nein. Resgrad, Savage, Indretta. Die hat's Taisende noch geschafft. Thomas, Noah, Tus, Andilex, Jannis. Boah, Jannis vom zweiten auf dem 8. Oh. Kinsel, Sun, Waze, Clement, Red Rush, Zombie Ride, Safik, DKS, Trippern, jetzt Gu, Hellfire, Adet, Blumadials, Lix, Xber, Scram, Reifler, Screevy, Slender, Wolfies, Dementos, Alpha, Bad Sniper, Podasai und Knight. Knight ist letzter geworden. Halt dein Maul. Und er spielt auf 360 FPS. Als einer der einzigsten. Kann bitte jemand erklären, was da los war? Hallo? Bei denen lief er irgendwie nicht so. Was? Die haben 11 Runden nur gespielt? Oh no. Hat hier noch jemand 11 Runden? Es gibt ein Team, was nicht dabei war. Es sind 32 Teams immer. Das ist auch sehr weird. Kann ich mir nicht erklären. Valial hatte einmal ein Disconnect. Ja, Bro. Und Spriggle, möchtest du noch etwas sagen?
Ich habe mit CS gewonnen.
Ja, das war's auf jeden Fall, Digga. Boah, weiß das also. Also ja, du hast recht. Du hast einfach recht, dass du einfach FNCS gewonnen hast. Alter. Und ab morgen wird es diesen Skin nie wieder geben. Natürlich holt ihr euch noch diesen Skin heute mit den Creator Code Study. Nein, no Werbung. Digga. Geht ganz einfach, ganz simpel, ganz schnell.
Guten Tag, wer sind Sie?
Deine Mutter.
Danke.
Oder? Ja. Ich jetzt offline. Ich habe morgen Schule. Hat eigentlich jeder morgen in Deutschland.
Ich?
Außer irgendein Vollidiot. Aber sonst hat jeder normale Mensch Schule. Die Unnormalen haben morgen keine Schule.
Bin.
Ich bin auch auf einer Privatschule.
Sogar, dass ich auf einer katholischen Schule bin.
Ja, Bruder, da bin ich wieder komplett raus. Katholike. Glaubst du an Katholiken? Ein Gott. Du glaubst an mich, oder was?
Also.
Glaubst du an Gott?
Nee.
Hä, wieso bist du da? Bro, wieso bist du dann auf der katholischen Schule?
Ach, nicht. Ist aber trotzdem geil dort drauf.
Queasy hat FNCS gewonnen und Savage ist weiter, ja. Weiß ich. Ist schade, aber ich gönn's Queasy, Truelex und Jerky genauso. Weil die haben auch sehr stark die ganze Zeit Highground gespielt, aber was die gespielt haben, das ist krank gewesen. Das war echt krank gewesen, Digga. So, dann würde ich jetzt sagen, ich spiele morgen wieder. Und hau darin. Killer. Stratus. Oh ja, warte. Ja, okay, bis dann. Bis dann, Nikos. Dickboss, ja. Und dann würde ich sagen, Killer, Stratus ist in